Hello everyone, this is Jennifer. In this video, we're going to look into the international marketing intelligence. So, talking about international marketing intelligence, international business or the firms basically analyze the business environment which is present in order to assess the marketing opportunities which are available in the various foreign markets. They analyze just not the environmental factors but also the market situation based on customer needs, incomes, competitions, the products available in the market, the prices of the various products, the promotion strategies used by the business organizations, the consumer buying behavior, etc. So, talking about the international marketing intelligence. So, what is the meaning of international marketing intelligence? So, international marketing intelligence is basically it is a process of acquiring and analyzing the information for the purpose of understanding the international markets. So, basically, why do we need to understand it? It's because in order to get to know what is the potential of the customers in the market and also what is their future needs and preferences, their attitudes, their behaviors, so that if there are any changes happening in the international business environment will be easily understood, and that may affect the size and the nature of the international markets in the futures indirectly. So it's basically collecting of information about the market and analyzing the information to get to know what opportunities are available in the market. So, talking about what kind of information is required in order to assess the information, or what kind of information that needs to be collected are, so basically international business firms require large variety of data and information to get to know about the markets, customers, market intelligence like the wholesalers, retailers, competitions, foreign exchanges, etc. So, the first information that we are going to collect is about the market. So, about market, what all information are we going to collect? About the market, we have to get to know what is the day to day changes in the demand because of the competitors, products, their promotional strategies. What is the shift in the government policies? What are the changes in the consumers incomes, changes in the technologies that are happening? So first about the market, we'll get to know about the consumer behavior in the market. So the shifts in the consumer behavior due to the variations of social or the cultural diversion that they have, which is caused within the mindset of the consumers, and what is the products that are available in the market, what kind of products are they using in the market, what kind of product varieties are available, what is the product features, what is how is the development of the new products happening, what are the introduction of the new products and the changes that are happening. Then you get to know about the marketing channels, so the shifts in the preferences over channels in the consumer preferences, or the what kind of marketing intermediaries are present in the market. Then we will talk about the communication media availability. So in communication media availability, we'll talk about the marketing management managers who need the data and information about the availability and intensity of the communication media that is available in the market. So that the information regarding the regarding the products, how it can be communicated, which kind of media can be used to reach the target customers at a very lesser cost. Then we talk about the market responsiveness. How are the consumers responding to the price, product, promotion, channels, etc.? So these are the topics that the market researchers informations are required depending on the markets. Moving on to the customers. So about the customers, the second point. Now about the customers, what all we need the information is. So the international business needs information regarding the customers groups, such as based on their category, age, educational qualification, incomes, ethnic groups, religious groups, beliefs, behavioral patterns. Who are the repeated buyers that come into the pictures? So the frequency of buying, quality of buying, the purpose of buying, so the size of the customers, the growth, etc. So all these informations are required on the basis of customers. So the next one is your market intermediaries. So the information regarding the market intermediaries are very essential as they bridge the gap between the producers and the customers. So the categories of market intermediaries that are available in the market, like your wholesalers, retailers, commercial agents, etc., who are dealing in the international business firms, are information will be collected. Then the cost of the intermediary, what is the cost they charge up? Then what are the functions and services that they provide, and what are the ranges of products or services in which the intermediaries deal. So all these information are collected depending upon the market intermediaries. Next is your competition. So the information regarding the current and the possible future competition would enable the marketer to know the volume of the market available in a foreign country, and the level and intensity of the markets. Okay, what kind of in competition is basically in the market? Is it business competition, product range competition, or corporate competition, etc.? Next is your foreign exchange. So when you're talking about international marketing, obviously there's something that comes into the picture, which is foreign exchanges. So foreign exchange basically bears up the cost of the business, the prices of the product to the customers, and the profits of the company. So the aspect of information is very significant, relating to the balance of payments positions, the international rates, the attractiveness of the country's currency in the global markets, etc. So such information are collected in order to develop yourself as a business in the international market. Next is a prescriptive information. So the information collected under prescriptive information are information relating to the laws, particularly the business laws and the rules and regulation on about the taxes in the foreign countries. Next is your resource information. So the information regarding availability of the human resources, the skill, the level, and the behavioral patterns. So all such informations are collected. Last is your general business environment. So the information regarding general business basically constitute of the factors such as social, cultural, technical, economical, political, and natural of the host country, which is necessary to decide upon the viability of the foreign markets. So what are the sources of information? So we spoke about the what all information that the international business firm should basically collect. Now we are going to talk about the how are we going to collect, what are the sources of information that we are going to collect. So basically there are two kinds. One is your primary source and the second one is your secondary source. So primary sources are those sources from where original information is generated for specific needs. So these informations are basically gathered from the real people who are working, like your customers, wholesalers, retailers, salesperson, managers, intermediaries, etc. And the specific and relevant information and data can be generated from these sources through the opinions, attitudes, experience, and observations. So, next is your secondary sources. Under your secondary sources are those sources wherein already information are being collected and processed, and data information for various purposes are already available. So under secondary sources you have different categories like your private sources, public sources, and your internet sources. So these are the various kinds of secondary sources of information. So let's look into the various sources of the secondary sources of information. So UN Statistical Yearbook. So it is basically published by the UN Statistics Divisions, and this yearbook provides international trade information on both the products and the nations. Next we have the Worldcast. So it is a complete one line entries, basically providing short and long range predictions. It basically predicts or forecasts for the consumption capacity or employment and production country by country. So each quarter you have a volume, product volume, and a regional volume which is being published. So next we have the Exporters Encyclopedia. So it is an extensive handbook on exporting that is updated annually. Next we have the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So basically it contains a detailed analysis of developments in demand, production, employment, prices, and wages. Next we have the Federation of International Organization. So it is the database of international trade web resources which are available on the internet with more than 8,000 links annotated and basically indexed. Next we have the World Development Reports, which has been provided by the World Bank. It provides in-depth analysis of the specific aspect of development with regard to the economies, labor, infrastructure, environment, poverty, etc. Next we have the World Trade Organization. So it is an official website which offers up-to-date information on the international trading system. Next we have the TDS, which is the International Trade Data System. It is an integrated government-wide system for the electronic collection, use, and dissemination of the international trade data. Next we have the Country Commercial Guides, which is a report presenting a comprehensive look at countries' commercial environments. So these are the various sources of information. Next we are moving on to the International Marketing Information System. So International Marketing Information System, so it is a integrated and comprehensive network of the information relating to all the areas of international business bearing on the market. So the purpose of the system is basically to provide relevant and correct information at the right time and place and for decision making, which are helpful for the implementation to all the managers concerned. It is the short form of this is IMIS, which helps the managers to scan the relevant environment, helping them to identify the opportunities and the threats which are available in the international market. So it is an automated system. So it is an organized collection of telecommunication systems. So in short, it is an organized collection of telecommunication equipments or the systems like your hardware, software, data, and personal design, which are helpful for capturing, storing, updating, manipulating, analyzing, and immediately displaying information about the worldwide business activities which is happening. So what are the advantages of this international marketing information system are? The first one is market monitoring. So it helps the managers to recognize the market trends. So the trends with respect to the trends with regard trends in accordance to your prices, product design, packaging, promotion schemes, etc. Second is your strategy development. So it provides the necessary information to develop marketing strategies. So it provides a foundation for the development of the information system dependent on the e-commerce strategies. Next we have the it facilitates marketing planning and control. So the effective marketing planning is required in terms of the product planning, pricing, promotion, distribution. So it provides or it facilitates the same. Next we have the quick supply of information. So when a firm needs to take up a quick decision, so this is a fast flow of information which is being facilitated by the designed IMIS. Next, we have the quality of decision. So, in every aspect of marketing, there is a need to make constant and correct decisions. So, properly designed marketing information promptly supplies reliable and relevant information. Next, we have the tapping of the business opportunities. So, it helps to tap the various opportunities that are available in the market depending on the information available. Next we have the provides marketing intelligence. So it helps in collecting marketing intelligence which are widely used for the marketing decisions. So what kind of information are we talking about? What's happening in the external markets, like your changes in the customer's taste, common strategies, international environment, etc. Next, it helps managers to recognize the change. So, a firm which is well equipped with international marketing information will be able to realize the need to change the line of business. Next, we have the integration of information and functional integration. So, it helps to integrate different information which are scattered in centers or departments in different places. So next is a strategy implementation. So international marketing information basically provides support for product launches. It enables the coordination of marketing strategies, and it basically enables a customer relationship management and the customer service systems implementation. So moving on to our next topic, which is the subsystems of IMIS. So IMIS basically consists of a number of subsystems. So the important one among them are your internal reporting subsystem, marketing research, and marketing intelligence. So internal reporting system subsystem. So what is this? This subsystem basically incorporates the internal data and the information on a daily basis of the regarding sales, customers feedbacks, the sales orders, inventory levels which are internal within located within the organization. So this system can incorporate automatic updating of this data. Next we have the marketing research. So the internal reporting subsystem is also very important, because as different departments located in various countries needs to be on a continuous basis. Next we have the market research. So marketing research subsystem is vital for various and specific research or the marketing activities. So marketing research subsystem incorporates the various marketing studies conducted by the company in particular and other companies and research organizations in general. Next is your marketing intelligence subsystem. So this subsystem basically incorporates data information regarding the daily happenings. So this system collects data from newspapers, magazines, internet salespersons, etc. So next we are going to talk about marketing research. So marketing research itself is what? Collecting of data, recording it, analyzing the data. So you have a research problem, you have the objectives of the research, you come up with the solutions at the end by analyzing your data. So according to the American Marketing Association, marketing research basically involves a system of gathering, recording and analyzing data about the problems relating to the marketing of goods and services, only relating to the marketing of goods and services. So the process of marketing research are: the first one is your definition of your research problem. So research problem should be clearly defined, so it should not be too narrow or too broad. So marketing manager, based on the preliminary information or data or signals of various marketing issues, should define the research problem being that needs to be sorted out. Next is your research design and sampling. So research design is basically the detailed plan of investigation, just like a blueprint of the detailed procedures for testing your hypothesis or for analyzing your data. So there are various kinds of research designs, like your case study method, market survey method, experimental methods, etc., or your field investigation method, evaluation research, actual research, ex post facto research, laboratory research, etc. So So the researchers can select one of these methods depending upon the problem, and the researchers cannot contract all the customers due to the similarities of the customers' characteristics and constraints of time and money. So as such, the researcher selects a sample of customers who represents the characteristics of other customers. That is known as sampling. Maybe, for example, you're coming into a garment industry, coming up with a new uh, fashion designing, fashion costumes. At that time, you cannot go and approach every woman and ask their fashion senses or what is basically the interest in the market, or what is the current fashion that is trending in the market. But you can pick up few women who will represent the entire women category and ask them and take their information and come up with a solution. So that is called as sampling. Okay, so there are number of sampling techniques. The major categories of sampling techniques are probability sampling techniques and non-probability sampling techniques. So the criteria for research design basically includes the capability to answer your research questions adequately, the controlling of variables, that is your independent variables and the dependent variables, and the generalizations of the data. Next we have the methods of data collection. So the data collection methods are basically categorized into two types. One is your observation methods, wherein you directly observe about the situation, events, happenings, and record the observation. Next is your administrations of questionnaires. So surveys of questionnaires is widely used method due to speed and less cost, like coming up with personal interviews, giving questionnaires, etc. So survey of questionnaire is another method for the administration of questionnaires. Measurement and data analysis. So the researcher, after collecting data, has to tabulate it and will use a statistical tools to measure it. So the international the basically the researcher should take special care to ensure whether there is reliability on the data collected, the validity of the measurability of the data. Next, we have the presentations of report. So after analyzing the data, the researcher has to write the marketing research report and present it. So the report should be presented systematically with executive summary. So the structure of the report should have the executive summary, introduction, conceptual analysis, data presentation, data analysis, findings, recommendations, conclusions, and your bibliography, which will in the report. So bibliography is the end of the report. So in bibliography you will tell the references and all that. So bibliography is also very important in the report. So after analyzing everything, the researcher then finalizes and submits the final report. The recommendations and the suggestions which are provided by the research should also be very practical but not highly theoretical and conceptual basis. So the marketing research report should encourage and enable the marketing managers to implement the recommendations for the benefit of the company. Thank you everyone.